Hi everyone, welcome to Johnny HowTo and our multi-part video branching series on how to compile and acquire different versions of Unreal Engine 4 and build that from source code. Now, if you've watched some of the previous videos, I've talked about what you need and how you can acquire those and build a version of Unreal Engine from scratch. However, what I haven't covered yet is if you wanted to inject a plugin into Unreal Engine that's not from a binary build. So if you are using the Epic Games launcher and you are wanting to insert a plugin into your version of Unreal Engine, all you have to do is install plugins or get it and it'll inject it directly in. If you build from source code like we have done here, you can't actually get that to populate this menu here, and so you have to do it manually. Now, luckily, certain companies like Substance or certain software packages like Substance offer the end user the source code so you can build it or drop it right in, and that's what we're going to cover here. This video is assuming that you already have a source code built version of Unreal already existing. If you don't and you're wanting to do that, please check out the earlier videos in this series, which I will pop on screen now. I'm going to go ahead and use Substance as an example. This should work for any type of plugin for Unreal Engine that you can get source code to. So on the Unreal Engine forum for Substance, they actually have a page, and I'll put this in the description, of all the plugins or the final release plugins for the different versions of our Unreal Engine. Now, this particular build that I have here was the Nvidia built VXGI version of 4.21. And so what I would want to do here is I'd go to the 4.21 version, and you can see I already did here, and I would just download this from their Google Drive. Once you download the plugin and unzip it, go ahead and go inside the folder, and there should be a README, and since it says README on it, it's probably a good idea that you actually read it. It does have some really helpful information in here, but I'm going to try and outline this here. So first off, you can try to just drop the plugin directly into the engine or your particular project and see if it works. So basically, I'm going to drop it in for the entire engine, so whatever project I make is already going to have it in there, and so you're going to go under, basically what it's done here, so I'm going to go under Engine, Plugins, and then Runtime, and you can see this is the folder structure it has here as well. And then we have this Substance folder right here. Notice that inside the source build, there's no Substance folder. I'm just going to copy and paste this into here, Control-C, Control-V. And in an ideal case scenario, you would then be able to go to your main folder for this built version, go to your binaries 164, and do the UE4 editor and launch it and have everything work. Now, so far, it looks like that would be the case here. I'm going to click on Manage Plugins because it says that there's a new one available. I'm going to go ahead and check Substance, and it needs to restart to enable the plugin. This is probably where I'm going to run into trouble, and I have in this case, because the compiled version of the plugin, even though it's 4.21, doesn't match the exact version that I have here in the editor on this particular build. Now, thankfully, the solution to this error we're getting is fairly straightforward and simple to fix, but it is going to require a slight but much quicker recompile of the engine itself. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the main folder of my custom build and go into the engine folder, basically back to where the plugin is at. So Plugins, Runtime, and then Substance. And this pre-built one that they gave us is already built for that specific version of 4.21, at least in the case that I'm using here. What we need to do is we're going to delete the binaries and the intermediate folder. And once we do that, we're going to go ahead and load up our overall Unreal Engine project inside of Visual Studio again and recompile it. So at this point, all I need to do is go ahead and flip down the arrow next to Engine and right click on my Unreal Engine 4 and click on Build. Again, this is going to go much, much faster than the initial build that we did in an earlier video. And the reason being that in the engine folder, this intermediate folder that we did not delete, hopefully you didn't delete it, has a lot of the creation files already existing in it. If you did delete that, it's just going to take longer to build. It's going to work either way though. All right, once the build is complete, you can go ahead and launch Unreal Engine 4 Editor. We should now have the plugin working correctly. Once that's all done, you should be able to drag in a Substance file, add it as a material that you can dynamically adjust, and have that functionality inside of your custom build of Unreal Engine 4. And as a last little housekeeping bit, since the folder is going to be so large, go ahead and delete that intermediate folder. That reclaims some of the space for your Unreal Engine install. Thank you for watching this series of videos, and I will see you on the next Johnny How To.